Oh, you just fuck with the style? My hair? Yeah, I have really long hair, so I just don't cut it often.
Round one. Fight.
I don't think I've ever once in my life successfully like comboed off that. That's safe? Really? That's fair. I'm gonna die for that too. How long you been growing your hair for? I don't know. Long time. I live? Hey now.
Round two. Fight.
I'm max. I didn't even mean to do down forward. That's supposed to be while standing 4-4. They really just crouched there and just held like down forward. It's just 4-4. Oh my god. Really, nigga? My power crush. What? Oh, come on. Why am I finding so much layout tonight?
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle. Round one. Fight.
That was me, GG's. Were you the Leo player? Okay, we enjoy boss on. It's okay. Yeah, bro, GG's. It was good, June. When you getting back on Tekken, bro? He's really good, man. You want to? Wait, actually. After the Bulls won a game last week, they were in the locker room playing a different song from D'Angelo that hasn't been released yet. That sounded even better than the first one, to be honest. And I want to hear that. Wait, that was just punishment. How did I sold. He sold. Did Keon Ellis just get injured?
Nothing amazing.
Is anybody watching the Kings and Rockets game by
Everything
chance?
is ordinary.
Because one, that would really suck for Keon Ellis. And I hope that it's nothing serious, that he recovers soon. But two, I just added that nigga to my fantasy team this morning, and if he just got hurt, I'm gonna be in a pickle, because I kind of used all of my ads for this week. So I kind of need him. Deuce. Quarterly and goal. There shouldn't be nothing too serious though. You really make me want to play well. He's a really cool character. Even if he's not that good. The old 1133, you know, the classic. How's it not counted it? Right. That shit's actually like very punishable, isn't it? Isn't that shit like, isn't it like minus 15? Isn't it like super unsafe? That move I keep blocking and not punishing? Only minus 12? Oh, what am I thinking of then? That's supposed to be back 3. Minus 14, I thought. Oh, that's a good W. Wow, that reached. That's not what I wanted, game. That's not what I wanted, game. Also, I tried like 3 times to do down forward 3+4, and I fucked up the input 3 times, and that shit would have killed him so long ago. But because I have the execution of a fucking penguin, I ended up losing that game.
Round 1. Fight.
Bro.
Round 2. Fight.
Not what I meant to do.
Round 3. Fight.
He actually just crouches every time he gets hit there. I just need to keep throwing that up low for. Oh, sure, that time it doesn't. What the fuck?
Round 4. Fight.
Gotta go to bed, got work in the AM. Take it easy, fellas. Yo, take it easy, Propane Bobby. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it, man.
Round 1.
Also, chat, I finally replaced my chair. This chair I made is a new one. My old one had broken down on me. Oops.
Nothing amazing happens here. Everything is ordinary.
Yo, J-Lo Meshi, thank you for 40 months. I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, my old chair, like, it's just another office chair from Staples. But this one is taller than my last chair, which I like since I'm tall. And also, the wheels were smoother than my old one. I didn't realize how. I knew the wheels in my other one were like messed up, but I didn't realize how messed up until I put this one together today. Only thing is that the seat feels a little like, I don't know if shorter is the right word or like more narrow, but yeah, I don't know. It's a little less comfortable than my last chair just because I don't feel like I fit in it as nicely, but it's taller, which I like because I can have my desk raised higher than before while streaming.
Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight. Final round. Fight.
I've been thinking a lot about this game since I've been playing the last couple of days. And I have two different perspectives, or like a new,
Round one.
I don't even know how to explain what I want to say. I've been thinking a lot about the game and like what the game is and how I feel about what the game is, if that makes sense. Like what the like what is the game that is being played, and like what are the interactions of the game, and you know, shit like that. And I think as a player, as a no, I'm having a hard time articulating my words. Give me a second to think about what I'm trying to say, and then we'll come back to that in just a moment. Whoops. Hyperaggression, you mean? Partially. It's a lot more than just that, though. Okay, bro.
Fight.
Damn, look at my ego.
fight.
Did you play Ho before Tekken 8? Yeah.
Get ready for the next battle.
I think since I've come back to Tekken after not playing it for a while, and since I've, since I'm more removed from the honeymoon phase of the game and I have like a fresh set of eyes and a fresh perspective, I think I appreciate certain parts of this game less than I did before. And I see more of what other people didn't like about the game. And I'm sympathizing more with certain sentiments, particularly in regards to defense or the lack thereof in this game. That being said, this is something that's been understood and known from the start. They went out of their way multiple times leading up to the release of this game to tell us that it would be hyper aggressive and it was going to be very strongly focused on offense and not as much on defense and everything like that. But I've been feeling it now more than ever, now that I'm like getting back into the game, than I did before, because I'm realizing just how little there is in the way of defensive mechanics and how much offense truly is emphasized in this game, and how much players are encouraged to not think about defense at all and to continue applying offense as much as they possibly can. And like, again, this isn't like groundbreaking news or whatever, but because we've known this from the start, but I truly like feel it now more than ever, where it's like the game really is about trying to constantly apply as much pressure as you can in order to keep an advantageous state and continue to make the right decision to keep your opponent at disadvantage. And I feel like a lot of the decision making is only when you're on offense, because on defense, the speed at which you have to process is not something that most players are capable of. And on top of that, it's not really a lot. I mean, like, I guess in a sense you are making a decision, but it's a lot of guessing. So it's not really an educated decision, or like an informed decision, other than just like, okay, he's went high the last 3 times, he's going to go low this time, or, he's only gone high, so he's going to go high again, right? Something like that. But I feel like this game is lacking in a lot of that mental interaction between players, where it's a lot of one-sided, just I'm going to continue applying options until you happen to guess right, and then you get to take your turn. And obviously this isn't the case for every match and every level, but it's something that I've been thinking about as I've been playing the game lately, and it kind of like made me have a little bit less fun, because I realized that there wasn't like the mental part of the game that I enjoy. I realize I'm not good enough as a player to really take part in yet. Yo, San Senju, thank you for 8 months. I greatly appreciate it. Back to the grind. Yeah. But I realized that I'm not nearly good enough at the game to experience the style and the type of challenge that I seek in fighting games, because this game does not offer that except at the high level, which I don't currently play at. Because I feel like there's so many encouragements to not think and to just press. And yeah, I don't know. Like, even though I understood that there was a huge emphasis on aggression and attacking in this game, it feels like it feels like if you are not pressing a button, you are losing, and obviously, right? But what I mean is, there are fighting games out there that exist, and Tekken 7 was like this, but maybe too much so, right? To a fault, where if you're not pressing or interacting, that is okay. Like it is okay to just block or backdash or move, and to give yourself a moment to like think, or you know, even just to play lame, right? I don't think playing lame is like a viable style in this game, which is one thing in of itself. But then beyond that, it's like passive play is extremely discouraged and almost feels like it's not allowed. You know what I mean? Like you have to, like in certain situations in other games, it's like, okay, what are you're weighing a lot of different options that you have when you're on defense, right? Where it's like, oh, maybe I should parry here, or I should continue to just block, or I have to guess here, or I should use a reflect, or I have a DP or a reversal. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Whereas in this game, it's kind of just like the answer to most situations, it feels like, is a button. You know what I mean? It's like I have to pick the right button to press here, other than just like guessing right on a mix up. Compared to other games where, you know, you can pick the right option that doesn't require you to attack in order to escape that situation, you know? You're saying you can't turtle basically? Well, yes, because you will just lose if all you do is turtle. Like you do have to attack, but in this game especially, it's like if you do not swing back at some point, like you do just lose. Games fall into that? What games fall into what specifically? Sorry, I said a lot. The state you want to play a game in? Oh, if there was an answer to that, I would have a main game. You know what I mean? If I had the answer to that question, I would have a game that I play on a daily basis, but I don't. I don't think there is a game right now that is like ideal for me personally. Do you think having to attack to get out of pressure is problematic? I don't know if I want to use the word problematic, but I personally do not like that's always the answer. You know what I mean? Because for example, in other fighting games that I play, whenever I'm fighting an opponent where their answer to every situation is to always find the right button to mash, I'm like, yo, this person's a lunatic. Like they just refuse to block. Like calm your hyper ass down. You know what I mean? This game forces you to be that way, where it's like the right answer normally isn't to block. It's the right movement or the right button to press, which I mean, those are always options, right? But I feels like the options are more limited than before. I don't know. I'm not here to say whether or not it's problematic, but I would say that it's not my ideal way, my ideal like setup or environment or whatever, like game, I guess. I forget the combo off that. Oh, shit. Right. This stage is pretty cool. I actually do not like this stage at all. Being an advocate for defensive play makes a lot of sense, knowing you made 18 in DBFZ. But I don't normally consider myself a defensive player, but I guess I am at heart and didn't realize it. I hate, yeah, most of you know this, but I hate all stages in fighting games with lava and fire and shit. I think they all look ugly, they hurt my eyes, they only make the game run like shit. And I feel the same way about this stage. Like this part is okay, but it's like kind of bland. But then like when it and everything is on fire and shit. And that reached. Word. I usually agree, but this one just stands out to me. I mean, yeah, to each their own. I'm not a fan of it personally. It doesn't help either that it's attached to Clive, who I've learned that I'm not a fan of. Hope you're having a great day. My day's going okay. I can't complain. Fire Namek is the worst map in DBFZ. Yeah, Destroy Namek is easily the worst stage in my game. I think what I'm like learning more about this game is that at the high level, the game that's being played or what the contest is that's happening between two players is a matter of who can make the correct decisions the quickest. You know, you have to constantly think extremely fast, and whoever has that better processing speed and is the better decision maker is the one who will prevail, you know, at the high level. But below that, it's kind of just like whoever's more willing to just push more buttons most of the time. And like, yeah, it can still be about who's the better decision maker. But in a lot of my matches, like at the level that I play, which is like blue ranks to Tekken King or whatever, I'm realizing that a lot of the matches that like I win or lose are not decided by like who has better processing speed or is a better decision maker or who like adapted more or like thought better. It's more so just like who was more willing to push buttons and or like who got their offense started first. I stood up too fast. It's a mash fest, yeah. Do you think there are any systematic changes they can make, or is this just a fundamental issue? Yeah, there's things that they could definitely do that would help it. But the thing is, like, I'm not here to say whether or not those changes need to happen or if they'd be better for the game. It's just about like what I would personally prefer as a player, right? But to answer the question, like about what those potential changes could be, they could reduce the chip damage for one, you know, because that's one of the reasons why you can't really just play passive and just block for a prolonged period of time, because you'll either be forced into a 50-50 or you'll just be eating chip, right? So reducing chip damage would be a big step in the right direction for me personally. Also removing a lot of the built-in mix-ups that a lot of these characters have on strings. For whatever reason in this game, and like, I know the reason, right? But this game has a lot of like pre-packaged mix-ups that you don't really have to like think about or execute in any way, other than to be able to just be like, I'm deciding to push 1, 2, 4 here. You know what I mean? It's like if I can input this string, I can put my opponent in a 50-50, which to me is not fun. Not only because you know, part of the fun of executing, or part of the fun in doing stuff like that is being able to properly execute it. You know what I mean? But also it blurs the line between like a higher and lower level player to the point where it's like, it just takes it takes the fun and the skill out of it, I guess. I low parried, but I stood up too fast. And now I died. Wow, I sold crazy hard. Need some type of defense buff. Yeah, I think I would personally enjoy the game a little bit more if defense was a little bit more rewarding and encouraged. Hasn't Tekken always been like this though? Can string mix-ups, I mean? Not nearly to this degree. I've also never experienced it at this level because the level I currently play Tekken at is the highest level I've ever played it at, which isn't saying much because I'm still fighting players who don't really have a clue what they're doing. But they sometimes look like they do because the game does a lot of the offense stuff for them. Oh my god. I keep letting this guy steal every round. I'm with you, Rose. While standing 2-3 is so bad. I didn't commit. Damn, I had several rounds where I beat the shit out of him and then like I did one misinput, died. It's another thing too is that you die so quickly in this game, which I mean isn't like a huge issue, but definitely feels like you make one mistake and then you're snowballed to death in 5 seconds.
Get ready for the
You also lobby in the future? I've done it before, but not tonight. I don't really feel like it. That's one change I still wish they'd make to the game, where they made like lobbies easier for my sake to run.
Get ready for the next battle.
Definitely favors momentum. The person who has momentum usually steamrolls the other guy. Well, another thing too as well is that I feel like Tekken 7 did the modern fighting game thing where it was trying to homogenize a lot of the cast in order to make the game, again, more accessible and like easier for players to pick up. And then Tekken 8 took it to another level as well, to where like there's less variety or like uniqueness to characters and their play styles and like what they do and shit like that. And don't get me wrong, there still is some sort of diversity to some degree, but not like it was compared to in the past. Because now you have a character like Huarong, this whole thing was like, you know, constant plus frames and mix-ups and pressure, right? Like getting in your face and trying to keep your opponent guessing, to where it's now it's like, well, that's what every character does. So what makes Huarong special, you know? You have a character like Asuka, who is traditionally meant to be like a defensive-oriented character who can turtle and, you know, kind of react instead of like, you know, trying to be ultra aggressive, even though Asuka players are always ultra aggressive. Now she's got like these crazy neutral tools that are plus on block that force you into 50-50s and things like that, you know? Eddie Tekken is a perfect example. Yeah, like Eddie is not at all, I feel like, what he was in the past, where now he's just like, it's just constant mix up, just guess, casino 50-50s, you know, let's go gambling. Lars is that, Eddie is that, Huadong is that, but he's normally been that, but you know, like Dragunov is just constant strings into pressure into 50-50. Like Tekken 7 was extremely diverse. I wouldn't say extremely. Characters still had their own identities. Characters still had differences between them, obviously, right? Because then if they didn't, what would stop anybody from playing one character over the other than just like the visual appearance, right? I'm not saying it doesn't exist even now. I'm just saying it has been reduced over time in both 7 and 8. The identity of some characters have definitely been watered down over the years. Yeah, to make them more similar to each other or to make them easier to pilot. This is like fighting games in general. Like that's just what modern fighting games are doing. I mean, it's what they've been doing for a long time. It's not like this is like something brand new. Yo, make forward 2 homing. Who says no? That's on me though. I should have done down forward for you. I wanted a homing mid, right? Another weird thing is like this game is really fun to watch but really awful to play for whatever reason. I get what you mean because I've learned that I enjoy watching the game significantly more than I enjoy playing it, which is part of the reason why I haven't been playing it. Damn, I thought for sure that was gonna work. I'll take that trade. No, I will not take that trade. I didn't realize they were still gonna get 4 points. Strive is another example. There's an estimate for the paid Xrd. Yeah, I mean, Guilty Gear Strive, excuse me, Guilty Gear Strive unfortunately seems like it's going down the Dragon Ball FighterZ path, where it's like they already made a game that people really liked at the start, and it was like accessible and things, and like, yeah, there were a lot of like legacy Guilty Gear players who don't like it and shit, but a lot of people really did, and they felt the need to keep pushing the envelope, and the envelope bursted a long time ago, and they're still adding more shit to the envelope. And I think there's obviously some people who enjoy the game, but I've seen so much negativity about Strive on Twitter for like the last 2 years, it feels like.
Get ready for the next battle.
I feel like that was kind of always their goal, to make it a spectator thing, since Tekken was already so good at that. And it was. You're 100% right, but they acknowledged that themselves. Like, again, they said that. We knew coming into this game that it was going to be aggressive. It was going to be very offense focused. Defense was not going to be a priority. They wanted it to be, you know, to cater to casuals and spectators and things like that. These are all things that we knew. We just didn't know to what extent or to what degree that was going to be the case, because we hadn't, you know, played it for ourselves. But we've had the game for a year now, and I think we've seen exactly what they said and what they meant by it when they said it. You know, enough time has passed where I think we've got a good gauge on things. And 1 second. I think we should all now know what to expect moving forward. I don't personally expect things to change toward the direction that I would personally prefer, because that's not their agenda. That's not their goal with the game. And I think anybody who is hoping for those types of changes is only setting themselves up for disappointment, because that's just not the direction that they're going to go with the game. Speaking of Strive, I don't think I've seen anyone play Dizzy for real. Is Dizzy out yet? Because I haven't seen anyone talk about her or play her ever either. Not that I watch Strive streams as much as I used to. Dizzy is out. I have not seen a single person play that character. She's been out. Yeah, now that you mention it, I have not seen any Dizzy gameplay at all. Like none. Not for like 2 months. There was a point in time I wanted that character in the game pretty bad, and I was, you know, hoping that she'd get added so I could try her out, but I just don't really have a lot of interest in Strive anymore. That's all. Is Street Fighter 6 the most beloved competitive game right now? No competitive game is beloved. It has numbers at least over 300 players at least. I mean, I can't think of games that don't have over 300 players right now other than like Game of Duel. But I mean, every single game has a split community, you know? It feels like every day I get on Twitter, any conversation I see about any fighting game, half the people think the game sucks, and the other half think it's amazing. So I mean, I don't think there is like a single like beloved fighting game that's out right now. Have you run into Clive? Plenty. I don't like them. Japan loves Street Fighter a lot. The Invitational they ran had Street Fighter 6 viewers at 300k. Isn't that shit like inflated a lot because it's like they get a lot of like very big VTubers and shit? VTubers are so massive in Japan. Which I'm not saying is a bad thing at all, but I think that's less about Street Fighter and more about the people who are playing it. Even if Japan does love Street Fighter.
Round 2. Fight.
And while standing 1 in neutral? Nigga, what? And it worked. See, that's the type of shit I be talking about though, where it's like there's no thought process there, right? There was no game being played there. There was no read or like, you know what I'm saying? There was zero processing going on with that decision. It was just complete and total impulse. Just while standing 1 in neutral, like that was, you know what I mean?
Round 1. Fight.
Like what, nigga, what? that's just something he does. Okay. So he just throws out while standing 1, just randomly and neutral constantly. Okay. You know, leaks are true about Pocket. Yeah, I thought about making a video on it, but I just didn't end up sitting down and talking about it. Play Lydia still? I have not played Lydia since whenever the last gameplay video I uploaded of me playing her was. But I also went several months without playing Tekken, so not really a Lydia thing so much as wasn't playing the game thing. I think Lydia, she's cool. It was fun. I don't really have an opinion on like her strength in the game.
Nothing amazing.
Yo, Viper, thank you for the 9 months rather. I greatly appreciate it. How are the fights going so far? You know, they've been okay. The Street Fighter V versus Street Fighter 6 discourse is interesting to me because it's just like the biggest and clearest example I've ever seen of niggas being full of shit and saying old game bad or old game good, new game bad. Because for like 5 years I heard exclusively negative things about Street Fighter V, and all of a sudden it was a good game. Like, no, let's cut the bullshit. Like, nigga, I never heard good things being said about Street Fighter V. Nobody liked that. Well, I should say nobody, but like most people, a lot of people did not like that game. The people who were the most vocal about that game did not like it. I personally tried to get into Street Fighter V multiple times and just did not like the game at all. I just didn't think it was fun or good. Now, granted, I don't play Street Fighter 6 anymore either, but I played it a lot more than I played Street Fighter 5. It's just throwing out, man. Thought this one was gonna be over. Got him. Holy shit, that did so much damage. How's that not a counter? And that round of an example is the kind of thing I'm talking about, where like there was no real game being played there. It was kind of just a snowball. And rounds being a snowball is something that exists in all games, right? I just feel like it's way, way, way more common in this game than like other games I've played.
Nothing amazing happens.
I feel like people get perfected or like
Everything is
steamrolled in this game like significantly more in other games. Yo, J-Lo Meshi, thank you for the... I looked away and got fucking with the snake case. Thank you for the 3 gifts. I really appreciate it. This nigga's damage is out of control.
Round 2. Fight.
Backlash. Looking forward to season 2 changes. Not really. I mean, there's like, I'm not gonna fool myself like I did in Dragon Ball Fighters, where I give myself hope that any of the changes that I would personally want to see are gonna happen. I understand what this game is. I accept it for what it is, and I'm not going to pretend that it's ever going to go in a different direction. I know what the game is, I know what it wants to be, and that simply is what it is. And I can either enjoy it or not. Wow. So, like from the standpoint of like, just because I like supporting the game and, you know, still want to play it some more and stuff, like, yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2 just because it's new, it's exciting, it's fresh, it's different content, and you know what I mean? But in terms of like, am I excited about it because like I'm looking forward to what the changes are, because I think it's going to be like really cool or really fun, or like shake the game up in like a special way or something like that, or you know what I mean? Like, no. Even if you don't like the state of the current fighting games, do you still think Tekken 8 is the best or not exactly? The best in what sense? Like the most fun to play, the most fun to watch, the most well constructed? It's not necessarily that I don't like the game, it's just not... I just don't love it. I just don't love playing it is all. No rank? No, I don't really feel like playing rank right now. Best quality of gameplay? I would struggle to give that title to any current fighting game. I would have to sit and think about what it is that separates each modern fighting game from each other, gameplay wise that makes any one game better than the other? Like, what are they doing that's different that would warrant one being considered to have like a superior level of quality of gameplay? Sure, it's not Sparking Zero that takes that title though. That game sucks so much. I cannot block Snake right now. Sparking Zero so high, so that game really sucks. Hate to see it. Anyway, going back to what I was trying to say, if you're to ask me what game has the highest quality of gameplay between all the fighting games right now, I would say that they're all about the same between like Street Fighter and Tekken and, you know, Guilty Gear and shit. I think they're all flawed games, and it's about, you know, which system do you enjoy the most. Yo, Killjoy, what's going on? Yo, Makai, what's good, man? How you been feeling? You know, we still. So. Whoops. He woke up throw though. Wow, I lost that round because of that drop. Well, no, there were mistakes made after that, but I think he did wake up throw. Hold that. How does Sparking Zero flop so hard? They steer it too far away from the Tenkaichi formula.
Get ready for the next battle.